What's up, weirdos? It is time for a garden tour, and it is a beautiful morning. It's May 26th, and I'm going to go over what I have in the food forest as well as what I've got in the garden. So let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be kind of a longer video. The sea berries, which you may have seen originally in the first few garden tours this year. We have a couple sea berries here. This is a male. And then I have 3 female sea berry plants over here. And they're doing really well. This one doing exceptionally well. It's probably close to 3 feet tall at this point. Right here, I don't have my mulberry. I'm still waiting on it. They said probably about June. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough for it. It's gonna be hot in June and probably gonna get a lot of rain. So we will see. I have a hazelnut right here, which I planted within the last week, and I have another hazelnut right down here, 2 different varieties, and they look like they're going to be fine. Looks like this one is going to start budding here any minute. Oh yeah, look at that, there's some buds on it, beautiful. And then we have some blue elderberries here that I planted, as well as my cornelian cherries. I got one right there and then another one right there. I have a couple blueberries here. They're looking pretty good. They were pretty red when I first planted them, but it was pretty cold when I planted them. And then I have a couple European plums. We got one right there. And then I have another one right here. And then down here I have a couple chestnuts. I actually have 4 chestnuts in total. This one's doing the best. I planted this one probably, I don't know, about a month ago, and it's leafing out and it's looking really good. I have some lettuce that's grown in there. I think that was from the compost that I put in there. We got another chestnut down there, as well as another one further down, and then we have another chestnut right over here in the middle. And then these are Saskatoon berries, or service berries, and so they're doing okay. 2 more Saskatoon berries over here. Now I heard they get to like 18 feet tall, so it's gonna be interesting. I might have to cut them back because they're kind of close together. So we will see. I have a blueberry that came back from the last few years. I planted blueberries here. I wasn't expecting much a couple years ago. 2 of them died, but this one is actually looking pretty good. So we might actually get some blueberries from it this year. I got some wild thyme in this pot right here, as well as some lemon balm in here. And it looks like the clover's taken over. Actually, that's something else. I think that might be sweetgrass. Is that like a type of sorrel? I think it is. Chamomile is already starting to flower, as you can see. So I'm gonna have to pick that, which I'm looking forward to because I love the tea. And then I have a couple thimbleberries right here. It's getting a little bit of leaf rust or something on it, so I might have to treat that. Maybe a little baking soda or something like that. This is the onion that comes back every year. I don't know why, but it grows here every year. I planted it probably 3 years ago, and it's come back every year. I have marshmallows that are starting to take over this little section. If you remember from past years, I had the marshmallow plant right here. Well, now they've taken over, as you can see, which is really cool. I do like the marshmallows, so we're going to hopefully harvest the roots and actually make marshmallows the old-fashioned way. So looking forward to trying that. And then in here you're going to see all my seedlings. First off, some of these are my dad's and some of them I bought at the store, but you can see the tomatoes looking pretty good. Mine were not doing so hot. Mine are looking pretty pathetic. So I'm going to plant them anyway, but I'm not expecting a whole lot from them. We do have a couple tomatoes in here. These are pink brandywines. So nice big tomato, great for sandwiches and stuff like that. So I have 4 of them in here. I have 4 of the super sweet 100 cherry tomatoes, which I bought at a greenhouse. And they look okay. They had some flowers on them, so I picked them off. I didn't want them on there. That's one thing you got to do, guys. Whenever you're planting tomatoes, make sure you pick the flowers off of them, because you know, you got to give them some time to develop roots and everything. And then the peas are doing really well. I need to tie these up a little bit because you can see they're kind of leaning a little bit, and I do have a row of carrots right down here. So I think if I tie them a little bit closer to that fence, then these carrots will probably get a little bit more sun. I do have some more carrots that are starting to come up on this row. You can kind of see them, these little guys. And then I have another row in here. You can see they're starting to come up as well. And then radishes, they got a little bit too big. So I think what I'm gonna do is probably just leave them here and let them go to seed. And they will attract all kind of beneficial insects, because this is gonna be a watermelon bed. Now you see there's a couple potatoes in here, and they come back every year. I don't know what to do. I'm probably just gonna pull these out of here. I might try to plant them in a pot and save them, but I'm not expecting much for them. And of course, there's a few beds here that are empty as of right now. I will be planting them as soon as I can. I've been super busy, guys. I've had a lot going on. I'm gonna try my best though to get these planted. Cucumbers in here, you can see one has come up, and then these are all the same cucumbers as well. These peas are looking really good. They're over 3 feet tall. So really excited about that. June 12th was the first pea that I ate last year, so we're gonna hopefully have peas by then. And then in here I planted some of my really scrawny tomatoes, and we're gonna see. These are Matt's wild cherry, and I think I planted a black cherry in here as well. So I don't know, guys. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if they make it. These are empty beds. I don't have anything in here yet. Strawberries are looking really good. You can see they're already starting to put out some strawberries. Now remember I said I was going to just pick the flowers off. I couldn't keep up with it, guys. These things put out flowers like crazy. Every day there's tons and tons of flowers on these things, and I just couldn't keep up with it. So I pretty much gave up. So we're gonna enjoy some of these strawberries, and then after that we will let it develop roots for the rest of the year. I do have a couple rows of beans here. We got one right here, and then another row right here coming up, and then more strawberries in this little guy right here. It looks like he's just about ready, isn't he? Yeah, look at that. I'm gonna say that is ready to pick. So I'm gonna enjoy this for my breakfast. And then the goji berries over here, they're looking pretty good. I did take some cuttings from them. Those cuttings aren't doing so well. They kind of dried out a little bit, so I'm not sure if we're gonna get anything from those. I might have to take some more cuttings. These guys are gonna need a little bit of nitrogen. You can see the leaves are falling off, so I'll add a little bit of nitrogen into them and they'll be just fine. A little blood meal. We have wild strawberries here and more right there. Again, lots of onions here. I transplanted these from out of the raised beds that were in there. And we're gonna have lots of seeds, as you can see, tons of seeds. And one of my goals is I'm gonna create a little patch of onions, and I'm gonna throw some tomatoes and some borage and other stuff in there with them. These are all just empty pots. Well, they're full right now, but they're gonna be empty pots very soon. I'm gonna clean these out, and I'm gonna use these for watermelons and other things like that. I got raspberries here. These are the Carolina raspberries, and they're kind of taking over these pots. I'd really like to get these in the ground. I'm gonna try to do that maybe in the fall or next spring. I do have some more Carolina raspberries that I planted, so there's really no rush on that. And then over here is our greens, and we've got a lot of them. We've got Swiss chard right here. This is mint, in case anyone was wondering. That's mint right there. This is Swiss chard. We've got 2 rows of that. We've got some lettuce that came up from last year. We also have corn salad, as well as a little bit more lettuce right there. And then this is old-fashioned mustard right here. I have some kale right here. I took some cuttings from my raspberry plants. Whenever I was planting them, the roots were a little bit too long, So I cut them back a little bit, and I just planted them in this bed. So we're gonna see if any raspberries come up. I'm actually hopeful. I think we might, because this is pretty moist right here. I've been giving it lots of water, so I think it'll do okay. And we also have sorrel right here. This row right here is sorrel, and we have kale, salad burnet. I haven't picked any of it yet because it didn't look like it was big enough. And then there's arugula right here, and you can see it's starting to bolt. So this is one of those things. If you grow arugula, you got to grow it early in the year. Plant it like in March. If you're in zone 5 like me, plant it in March, because by Memorial Day it'll be bolting, and you want to eat it as much as you can. It's the same thing with mustard too. This is green wave mustard. It lasts a little bit longer than the old wave, or the old fashioned. Old fashioned tends to bolt, but green wave lasts a little bit longer. I have some lettuce in here, and it looks like the rabbits are getting into this, so I will have to get this covered. I also have to get it finished planting, because I've only planted halfway, so we got to do that probably this morning. Get some more lettuce in here, and then we're going to go ahead and cover it. This is all romaine lettuce, and then I have a row of something else. I'm not sure what all, but yeah, the rabbits are definitely getting in here, so I can't let this go on. I do have my Schizandra berry plant right here. It's looking a lot better. It didn't handle the frost too well. I got some hard frosts within the last month and a half, and it didn't like it so well. It had a lot of dieback, but it's starting to come back. And then over here in our sunken garden, our rain garden, you can see I have my water line. I still got to bury that, but we got lots of lettuce growing, and it's looking really nice, as well as some spinach right there. I've got some kohlrabi that I've got to thin out, and also some turnips that have got to get thinned out as well. So that's on the project to-do list. And if you come up here, you'll see our nice finished wall, I guess you could say. We have a little tree right there, a little Alberta spruce tree. I got some nice wind chimes, as well as some wintergreen, blueberries and currants, and all the like. And my mom picked up these really nice torches, so it lights it up real nice in the evenings here. And we'll check out the other garden. Man, I got so much, guys. I got a huge garden. This is a homestead garden, guys. Peas right here, more peas. I got tons of peas. I still got to plant all my beans, but I have a few beans planted, as you saw. And these are more tomatoes, and they're doing a little bit better than the other ones. I don't know, we'll see. I think these are Napa Chardonnay. They're a kind of a yellow white cherry tomato. I got some tomatoes in here. These are persimmon tomatoes. These ones I had a lot of success with last year, so I'm rolling with it again this year. Yeah, they're looking pretty good. I have some Cherokee purple tomatoes right here, and they're looking pretty good. This one, it was kind of rotten on the bottom, right at the bottom of the vine of the plant. It was starting to rot. I planted it anyway, and it's looking okay. And again, more peas right there. I've got beets in this little bed over here, and they're doing pretty good. You can see they're starting to come up over here. I still got another row I've got to plant, but they are doing pretty good right there. And then you know, we've been trying to weed everything as much as we can before we can plant everything else. This is all got to get weeded and cleaned up and everything. It's amazing how fast the weeds take over, guys. And then I've got more peas right here, and more strawberries. You can see they're doing really well. I have my kiwis in here. These are hardy kiwis. I got one right there, one right here. You can see the trellises look amazing. Very simple to make. Just some cattle panel, and then a couple posts. And then we come over here to the acidic tree guild, trees and plants. This is lingonberry right here. So we got a lingonberry there, we got a blueberry here. This is a Japanese plum, and comfrey in here, but I don't see it yet. It hasn't come up yet. More lingonberries and more blueberries. We got a cranberry right here, another blueberry, Another lingonberry. There's a lingonberry right there. More comfrey in here has not come up yet. And then another Japanese plum with a couple wintergreen at the end. So nice little guild right there. That is for all the acidic plants. And now let's hop into the other food forest, where I have a couple hazelnuts. One right here, and then another one right over here. And then we have our elderberries, and these guys just are taking off. I have some more elderberries that I planted over there. I don't know if you guys can see on the other side of this garden. There's a few more elderberries. I just took cuttings from them basically. I cut them at the root and just planted them over there. And I'm gonna have to do the same with these ones because these ones are taking over again. Look at that, guys. Very easy to propagate. Elderberries are extremely easy to propagate. They grow all over the place around here. They grow in the wild. They like to grow near water. That's what I've noticed. But yeah, we're gonna have lots of elderberries. We're not gonna have a shortage of those. Apples are doing okay. I'm not really seeing any flowers or any fruit. We did get a lot of frost, but I'm not too worried because they weren't going to really produce this year. You don't really want them producing the first couple years anyway. But they're looking okay. I transplanted a crab apple tree. I might have showed that in the last video, and it's doing okay. It's doing okay. The comfrey is starting to come up over here, though, you can see. And look at that. Look at these leaves. I'm really excited about that. We have another comfrey over there, and then of course another apple tree right there. We have black currants over here. I'm not excited about the taste of them, but boy, they are really helpful at keeping pests away. So that's the main reason they're in here. And I have a peach tree that I just planted within the last week. And here are the raspberries. I've got 6 Carolina raspberries growing in here, right along there. I have 5 of the Boyne raspberries, which are pretty hardy, so I figure they'll do pretty well here in Zone 5. They'll have no problem. And then I have some fall gold raspberries, and you can see this little guy's starting to put out some leaves. Very nice. Autumn olive right there. I got tons of autumn olives all around here, so I don't really know why I planted that. That was stupid, but hey, you know, you live, you learn. And I got more currants right there, and then an apricot right here, and it's looking really good. Now, last time I planted apricots, they died in June, so as long as this little guy can make it past that, I will be happy. And hopefully it'll survive for many years. I got another autumn olive there. This is a gold autumn olive. Most of them are red around here. Like that one's going to be a red one. This one apparently is a gold one, so I'm excited to see how that goes. And then I have some cherries. This is a pie cherry, Montmorency, and really good looking tree. Very excited about this. And then I also have a Bing cherry, so a sweet cherry right here. Got a couple gooseberries growing here. I got to really weed this. This has got to get weeded really bad. But you can see there's all kind of little berries on there, and I think these are black gooseberries, so it'll be a while before they're ready to pick. And then the mulberry right here, it has come back. It's looking all right, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully we'll get some mulberries within the first few years. I don't know, they're pretty small, so we will see. I'm gonna try to take some cuttings from some wild mulberries around here and plant those, because they seem to do a lot better than these ones. I have not had a lot of success with mulberries so far in my food forest and garden, but yeah, things are looking pretty good here at our little farmstead, homestead, whatever you want to call it. And you know, hoping for a good growing season. It's been pretty dry. I've been pretty busy, so I'm trying to keep up with all of my projects. It's getting hard, but I'm doing my best. And I guess I will see you guys later. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, comment, share, subscribe. And I'm trying my best to get the gaming videos out. It's going to be tough. I do have one that I recorded the other night, so I'm going to try to post that maybe on Thursday. It's It's going to be a Survive the Nights video. And then I also have a mist video planned for this weekend. So I'm going to try to get those out as soon as I can. But I have a very busy week and weekend coming up. So no guarantees. But I will see you guys later. Goodbye.